Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa. This is Unai Emery's press conference reaction for Chelsea v Aston Villa. Big game. Villa fans, you can play your part here. We are close to 22,000 subscribers, so we could get there after this weekend. So if you do watch us and you aren't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We've got loads of different variations of content. Let's hit the like button as well. Let's try and get around 400 likes on this one and comment your thoughts in the comment section down below. So Unai's been talking. We'll have a bit of Maresca talk as well. And then we'll have a little bit of an overview of the Premier League of just fixtures and games this weekend. And we'll do a couple of little predictions that we don't normally do on this episode, but we'll do it right. So Unai has been talking and he's been speaking on Ramsey and Onana. Those are the two players that are currently out for Aston Villa. I remember doing this one. When did I do this one? I did this one about 4 weeks ago, and we were all buzzing that we got a fully fit squad. And then about 2 weeks later, they all start dropping like flies, and we don't have a fully fit squad. But it looks like we've only got one potential injury. I had a feeling that Onana was going to be back for this. I think Konsa was back for Juve on the bench. I felt like that was going to happen. I feel like Onana's back, but Emery's keeping it a little bit closer to his chest. So he said that Ramsey, of course, is going to be out as well. But Onana, it depends how he's progressing tomorrow. If he can train or not, we'll see. So I gather that there's a view for Onana to train tomorrow. And if he gets through it, then he'll be in the matchday squad. He'll be available to start. He'll be available to play. And I think Onana's one of those players that when you're going into this busy, congested period, I feel like Onana's a player that we need just because of his physicality and his strength and his ability to just fight a little bit for the team. I feel like there's an inner scrapper there with Onana, and he's key on set pieces, etc., attacking and defending. So I think Onana's a big player to have going into this period. And if we have got majority of a fully fit squad going into the month of December, then I think that puts us in a really good position. So hopefully Onana will be back in the mix. Emery has been speaking about Boubacar Kamara. He has said, of course, Kamara is getting better. He had a small injury. He was not available one match before, but after he played on Wednesday, he played feeling comfortable. I decided to reduce the last 20 minutes, maybe because he needs minutes, but he needs as well care with the minutes he's playing. Boubacar Kamara needs wrapping up in cotton wool, bubble wrap, and just carted around everywhere, making sure that he's just perfectly fine. We don't want any little trips in and around outside if he's doing his Christmas shopping or anything. We want him just absolutely perfect because he is so important to this Aston Villa team. I can't reiterate how important he is. So the fact that he's back playing for Villa, Emery's working with his minutes, which I think is really wise. But I think for me, he's one of, when he's back, like he is now, he's one of the first names on that team sheet. Weirdly, I saw him getting quite a bit of stick on TikTok, on one of my TikToks, saying that he had a bad game the other night. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. But there we go. I think the majority can see that Kamara had a big game, and the majority can see how important he is to this Aston Villa team, not only for his midfield performances, but how he unlocks the rest of the team. He unlocks Matty Cash. He unlocks Leon Bailey, and the continuity and the partnerships and the patterns all help when you have your best players. I will keep banging this drum about Kamara being our Rodri until, what's that saying? Until the cows come home or something. I'm just going to keep hitting that drum because it's so true that this player is integral to the way that we play. And the fact that we hadn't had him and we were able to get Champions League last year, I think was absolutely amazing. You know, the back end of last year, when did he get injured? About January. So I think it's vitally important that he stays fit. Bubble wrap, cotton wool, whatever we need to do, keep him safe. He needs protecting at all costs. Emery's been speaking about facing Chelsea. Now we are going to face Chelsea. Of course, difficult. Of course, those 3 points will be very important. How we can set again our position in the table. I think the big thing to note in this is that we're 3 points behind Chelsea and we can potentially go 6 if we were to lose. So it does feel like a big game in that aspect. If you're looking at the games compared to Chelsea, I think it would be good to come away with it of being level on points with them, or as we are if we get a draw. So he has also been speaking about facing Chelsea. This is quite a big quote from Emery, so bear with when I try and get through it. Obviously, when I read this, when I read these, and sometimes it might sound like I can't read. I can read, but when Emery speaks, obviously there's some words that he might miss out that doesn't sort of fill a sentence. So yeah, it's not. I can read, but it's sometimes how it gets translated into how Emery speaks to how it gets written down. So, of course, Kamara is getting better. He was not available one match before, but I've already read that, haven't I? So that part I've already read. Right, where are we going next then? So the midfield I have now with Kamara, Onana, Barkley and Tielemans. I am happy, very happy. I want the players competing with each other in every position, but just in the middle, we have players that we can be happy with. And I think that midfield 4 there is sensational, isn't it, really? Kamara, Onana, Barkley, Tielemans, very good. And I think if you looked at some of the results that we did well last year, we played with 4 central midfielders, didn't we? So he's also been speaking on Chelsea. We are Aston Villa. I love this. We are Aston Villa. We are in our process. That's a quality quote, that is. We are Aston Villa and we are in our process. We are more or less getting our high demands, but to be consistent is the next challenge. We've won 2 times and we've drawn in the cup, but now it's a different match, different players, a different coach of them. They are feeling comfortable. They are performing consistently and getting better and challenging. And challenge is this Sunday. We want to fight to be competing that are contending for the top 7. At the moment, we were better 1 month ago, but still the possibility is to be there. So I think Emery is just very level-headed. He talks about the process a lot, of the process to get to the final destination. And, you know, it is important that we, you know, keep progressing well. We keep playing well. He has the high demands of what he expects from this team. But I do feel like with Kamara and Onana coming back, they're big players to be in and out. And I think if we have consistency from those, then I think the shape of the whole team should look a lot better as well. So we have done an in-depth match preview on Chelsea, so you can check that out. I'll link it on the end of this video, talking about Chelsea's threats, etc., and where they are and the what they pose. Maresca has been talking as well. He's been talking about the title race, and he's been talking about not being in the title race. So he, as well, is distancing himself from the title race. He's put, no, I said many times, I didn't like the pressure. I didn't like to say, yes, we are there, but we are not there. Arsenal are ahead of us. Man City is ahead of us. Liverpool showing that they are ahead of us. The important thing is that we improve game after game, and then we will see. You think that City lost 3 in a row, but still second. Arsenal is there. Liverpool is doing fantastic. Reason why, for me, it's not about points on the table. It's about the process of the programme. So he's talking about the process as well. I love it, don't they? 5 years together, 9 years together. Liverpool is different, but they didn't make too many changes. Not about the points difference on the table. It's about the time together. And he's also been talking about being realistic. The players are just focused on day to day, how they work and how they improve. if it's nice to be asked, it shows that the team have improved. Nice to see things improving. It is important. It's nice. It's a good feeling. Right. So I think that's everything from Emery. Let's just have a double check. But I think that's everything. Yeah, I think that's everything from Emery. So let's have a little look then at some of the games this weekend. And we'll have a few little predictions then. And if you do want me to do some predictions, then we'll keep this little feature in there. If not, then we won't do it again. So we have got Friday night football. We've got Brighton v Southampton. I actually feel like Southampton are doing quite good this season. They remind me a little bit of when we first got promoted into the Premier League. A lot of good stuff, but then a lot of bad stuff. A lot of bad mistakes that cost you. They played really well against Liverpool. Ended up losing that game. Made big mistakes. So I think they've played pretty well all season. Brighton at home. I do rate Brighton. I think this season they've done really well with the new manager. They are a bit sometimes unpredictable. When you think they're going to win, they don't win. So I'll go for a Brighton win on this one. I think Brighton will win this one. I think it'll be about a 3-1. So Saturday we've got Brentford v Leicester. Mad sacking Cooper. Looks like Leicester are going to get Van Nistelrooy. That's a mad one. So Brentford at home. So solid at home, aren't they? You'd expect with a caretaker manager that Brentford would win that one. So I'll go 2-0. Palace v Newcastle. I'm going for a shock result in this one. Palace, Eze back. I think Palace will win that one. Newcastle, I was hearing that they were going to go on this big run with their easy fixtures, lose to West Ham. So I'll go Palace. Forest, Ipswich. Ipswich could nick that, you know. I think Forest at home are a bit indifferent as well. So I'll go Ipswich. I thought they were brilliant against Manchester United. We've got Wolves v Bournemouth. I'm going to go for a Bournemouth win. Arsenal to beat West Ham. And then Sunday, we've got Chelsea Villa. I think it's going to be 2-2 Villa. I think we'll get a draw. Manchester United v Everton. I think Manchester United will win that one. Amorim's first home game in the Premier League. You'd expect them to beat Everton at home. We've got Fulham against Spurs. That's quite a tight one, isn't it? Fulham lost last week against Wolves. You'd have expected them to win the way that they've been playing. But they'll pose Spurs problems. Again, I'll go a draw. I think 1-1. And then the big one. Liverpool v Man City. That is a tough one. Man City cannot keep losing, can they? Liverpool are doing really well. They played well against Real Madrid, but I don't think they were that great against Southampton. A tough one, that is. I'll sit on the fence. I'll go 2-2. I'll go 2-2. One of them will nick it at the end to get it to be a draw. So those are my little score predictions and my thoughts on some of those fixtures. So those are Unai's thoughts. Pretty positive all round. Match preview. I'll link it on the end of this one. Enjoy it. We'll have the opposition preview. That'll be out tomorrow as well. And then we'll see you all for the reaction after Chelsea. Hopefully, it's a good one. Up the Villa.